What if, in the blink of an eye, you found yourself in a place where love is not just a feeling, but the very fabric of reality? This is Johnny's story of crossing over, of meeting a force so powerful it knew every secret, every joy, every regret, and loved him completely anyway. In the face of eternity, Johnny discovered a truth that changed him forever. But this journey is more than just a glimpse into the afterlife. Each moment reveals something unexpected about who we are, why we're here, and what we're truly meant to learn. So if you've ever wondered what lies beyond or what makes this life meaningful, keep watching. Every part of Johnny's story brings us closer to the heart of what really matters. This is one journey you won't want to miss.
For over a year, I had been struggling with a severe bacterial lung infection. Every breath felt like I was suffocating. I could barely move without feeling exhausted, trapped in a body that was no longer mine. Night after night, I lay awake, feeling the weight of my own failing lungs. My wife and I both knew how serious it was, but I was too weak to even call out. It was terrifying, almost as if I was slowly disappearing. I wondered constantly, is this what it feels like to die? Then one October night, when my body could bear no more, I accidentally took the wrong medication. I didn't realize what I'd done until my breathing stopped and everything went silent. In that moment, everything stilled. I couldn't feel my heartbeat. I wasn't breathing, and yet, I was still there, aware of everything. Instead of slipping into darkness, I found myself looking up at the ceiling where a face appeared, a face that radiated love and warmth. It smiled at me. It was as though I was being wrapped in something so profound. I didn't feel fear. I felt peace. The face seemed to come closer, or maybe I was rising toward it. I can't tell which it was. All I knew was that I was leaving my body and moving toward a place I had never seen, but somehow felt like home. Suddenly, I was surrounded by a landscape so beautiful, so vibrant, it was beyond anything on earth. Colors glowed with a richness I had never imagined. The air seemed alive, filled with light and energy. I remember thinking, this is real. This is more real than anything I've ever experienced. It felt like coming home after a long journey, a home I hadn't known existed until that moment. I was overcome with a happiness that can't be explained, a joy that just was. And I knew somehow that this place was made of pure love. It was everywhere, in everything. But I wasn't alone. A figure appeared before me, made entirely of light, radiating warmth and love. It was so bright that I couldn't make out its features, yet I felt a deep familiarity, as though I had always known it. And then, without speaking, it addressed me. I heard its words, not with my ears, but in my mind.
Welcome, Johnny.
It said,
I know everything about you, every thought, every fear, and I love you completely.
It was as though this being could see everything I'd ever done, every mistake, every hurt I'd caused, and yet I felt no judgment, only unconditional love. This being knew me better than I knew myself, and it accepted me completely. Then the figure invited me to review my life. Suddenly, every moment of my life played out before me, from birth to that very instant. But it wasn't just a replay. I experienced each moment not only through my own eyes, but from the perspectives of everyone I had ever encountered. I felt the joy I'd brought others, but also the pain I'd caused. I saw how my actions had rippled through their lives, even in ways I'd never considered. Some memories were excruciating, but the figure's love surrounded me, assuring me it was all part of my journey. At one point, I felt overwhelmed. I whispered, "I've failed." The figure responded with a warmth that soothed every fear, saying,
Nothing was wrong. Everything was perfect. You were human. Your purpose was to learn.
Hearing that gave me a sense of peace I'd never known. It was as if I was being shown that love is the purpose behind everything, the mistakes, the triumphs, the regrets, all of it. Feeling reassured, I found the courage to ask questions that had haunted me my entire life. I asked about suffering, about the purpose of life, and the reason behind the pain in the world. The figure answered each question with an incredible calmness, and with every answer, a sense of understanding grew inside me. The figure explained something important to me.
Love is at the center of it all. Every pain, every joy, every sorrow, every moment of kindness or regret, it all flows back to love.
At that moment, I understood something profound. Love isn't just a part of life. Love is life. It's the foundation of everything. I was filled with a sense of oneness, a unity with everything in existence. And I knew, truly knew, that we are all connected by this love. Then without warning, the figure told me,
It's time to go back.
I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay in that place of love forever. But before I could protest, I felt myself being pulled away, rushing back through a narrow passage, faster than I could comprehend. Suddenly, I was opening my eyes back in my body, with the sunlight streaming through the blinds. I felt an overwhelming peace, a peace that had nothing to do with where I was, but everything to do with what I'd experienced. I knew in that moment that love was all that mattered, that everything else was secondary. I had been shown the truth, and now I had to live it. Since that day, I've been a changed person. It's like part of me stayed there, in that place of love, and it's with me now, guiding me through every moment. I try to live with love at the center of everything I do, knowing that what I experienced was no ordinary feeling. It was the very essence of life itself. It hasn't always been easy. Explaining this to others, sharing my story, even trying to live it fully. Sometimes people don't understand, and there are days I struggle to hold on to that sense of peace and purpose. But when I feel lost, I remember that place, that overwhelming love, and it brings me back. Every action, every choice, I now ask myself one question. Am I doing this out of love? That's the lesson I brought back with me. Love is not just the destination, it's the journey, the reason we're here, the force that binds us all together. And no matter what life brings, I hold on to this truth, that everything will be okay, because love is and always will be at the heart of it all.
Johnny encountered a figure of pure light, a presence that knew every detail of his life, every joy, every regret, and yet surrounded him with overwhelming unconditional love. Was this God? Was this the love described in Scripture, the love that bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things? As we hear Johnny's story, it's hard not to think of 1 John 4:16. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in them. In this experience, Johnny felt drawn into a presence that could be nothing other than divine love itself, a love without limits, unbreakable and eternal. This journey reminds us of what Scripture has always told us. At the heart of all creation, there is love. Johnny's story, like the words of the Bible, shows us that in the end, everything will be okay. Because love truly is at the heart of it all. What do you believe lies beyond? Have you had experiences that showed you the power of love? Share your story in the comments below and join us as we continue exploring life's biggest questions together.